Evening, guys. Welcome to Tony's Tech Talk episode 13, lucky number 13. I'm Tony Hannity's, and today we're going to start with talking shop. So, LazyTechGuys.com is not going anywhere. What I mean by that is we're not leaving. We're not shutting it down. We're actually going to do a renaissance, a rebirth, and we're going to have our good old EIC, editor-in-chief, Radford Castro, founder, if you will, get back on the horse and gallop into freedom? Gallop into something. He's going to go that way into the sunset, and it's going to be awesome. And, so we're going to be kind of really edging out the website, possibly some other kind of methods to get the information. An app, maybe, just kind of hinting at that. But one thing that I was doing alongside that, as you know, is the mobile lounge where we were using the Twit studios to record. And due to certain limitations of using the Twit studios now, we no longer can record. So unfortunately, the mobile lounge as an alpha show with the help of Twit is no more as it stands right now. So I think I know, it's a sad day to kind of come out and say that, but it is reality and we need to move on. So I'm still excited because the connections that I've made because of the show and because of the people that I know through Twit, we're still doing podcasts. We're going to do it here, we're going to do it on the Lazy Tech TV, and possibly even kind of grow from that with our own true-fledged LTG network. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the top tech topics excuse me, of the day. Wow. Sorry, I have no idea where that came from. That was kind of awkward. And this is why some people don't do things live. They do it pre-recorded and fix and post. Okay. Sprint is buying T-Mobile. That is an incorrect statement. In fact, I've been dealing with this statement for the past week or so where people are saying, oh, it looks like Sprint is going to buy T-Mobile. Sprint is going to buy T-Mobile. The CEO for next door is going to get the rough and tumble CEO from T-Mobile, and they're going to merge together. This is not what is happening whatsoever. So let me clarify this. Sprint isn't the company looking to buy T-Mobile. Sprint's parent company, Softbank, which is a Japanese-owned company, is looking to get the majority sharehold from Deutsche Telekom, which is the parent company of T-Mobile. So yes, by proxy, you could look at it and say Sprint is buying T-Mobile, but that's not really what's happening on paper. On paper, you have the parent company, Softbank, and right underneath it, you have Sprint, and underneath, next to it, separately, not combined, you have T-Mobile. So yes, SoftBank would essentially own the fourth and third largest carriers, wireless postpaid carriers here in the United States. Does that cannibalize its own business? Yes, to a certain degree. Does that give them market share and a ton of money? Yes, it does. Is this a good move for SoftBank? Why not? No matter what they do, they don't lose. It's kind of like with it's not necessarily the same thing, but you take into account an MVNO. MVNO basically is a company like Virgin Mobile, Disney Mobile. Well, I brought it back. Boost Mobile, Ant Mobile. They are all under a parent company, which actually is Sprint, but they're all competing with each other. So Sprint, they're basically saying, yeah, well, you guys can use our network, you can pay us and everything, you can use our network, and they don't really care. If one goes down, they still make money because essentially, one goes down because everyone's going to Boost. Well, they still make money for all the subscribers that go to Boost. and they go down because Boost is not really the cool thing anymore. Everyone goes to Virgin Mobile, then they still make money because it's still under Sprint. So if people leave Sprint to go to T-Mobile, SoftBank still makes the money. The question is, does SoftBank have a plan in the future to eventually merge the company? The way it's written right now, it doesn't look like there should be any kind of regulatory red flags to a certain degree. But when there was talks of AT&T acquiring T-Mobile, the Verizon CEO was very verbal and vocal being against that. And although this is just a rumor, nothing has been set in stone whatsoever. Nobody's really come out and said anything. Obviously, Verizon doesn't want to they don't want to jump the gun anytime too early. But so, although it's not going to be a monopoly, although it's not going to be Sprint Mobile or T-Sprint or anything like that, financially, it is going to be two separate companies. But does that still give the American public the choice that they need? Yeah, sure, why not? It's just the difference on how it's laid out on paper. And according to Reuters, looks like the deal was pretty much not set in stone last week, but it's pretty much ending. And now it really comes down to how much is this going to cost? I mean, Deutsche Telekom owns about 67% of T-Mobile, which values here in the United States about $27 billion. I mean, it's a crap ton, a lot of money. And if you remember, the original deal between T-Mobile and AT&T was about $30,000, and that fell through. T-Mobile made $3 billion off of that just for that not going through. And I'm not quite sure if this is true or not, but if you remember, I think Laguerre said that he wanted like $1 billion if something happened between Sprint and T-Mobile. So again, this is not a Sprint and T-Mobile deal, but for whatever reason, if the SoftBank and T-Mobile deal doesn't go through, there might be some sort of fallout deal as well that T-Mobile can benefit from. June 18th is a big uncarrierized event, so maybe this has something to do with it. I don't know. It's to me, it's a little scary, but at the same time, I don't think that we as consumers are really going to see anything that's going to affect us at all quite yet. So one thing that we do know is that as it stands right now, what this is going to do in terms of like the existing customer base is really absolutely nothing. You're going to continue getting the service that you get. You're not going to be piggybacking off of Sprint or vice versa. So if for whatever reason you think T-Mobile has better service over Sprint, and you think, oh, good, now I'm going to have better service because Sprint isn't so good right now, because it really isn't. That's not what's gonna happen. So sorry about that. I know it's kind of a downer, and you maybe were expecting something a little bit more positive on that note. But yeah, at the moment that's not the case. So moving on, a phone that we have been talking about kind of off the air is the Galaxy S5 Active, and we kind of wondered what is the point of the Galaxy S5 Active. I mean, the Galaxy S5 as it is, it's it's a water-resistant phone, and that was the one thing that the Active had that of the Galaxy S4 Active, that was water-resistant, whereas the Galaxy S4 was not. So what does the Galaxy S5 Active bring? It's freaking rugged. So let me show you guys a picture of what we're talking about here. So here on The Verge, it's a nice kind of press shot of the Galaxy S5 Active. It's to be sold here in the United States exclusively on AT&T, and it pretty much has similar specifications to that of the Galaxy S5. We're looking at a 5.1-inch display, 1080p Super AMOLED. Of course, it is water and dust proof instead of just water resistant, so that is a difference. It still has the heart monitor. It has an additional convenience key on the side of the phone. So if you're looking at the shot here, right on the it's on the I would assume it's on the right side, that button on the right side, or it could be the button on the left side above the volume rocker. We'll just say it's the one on the left side above the volume rocker, because Samsung is pretty famous about putting their on and off switch, their power button, on the right side. So that little blue button above the volume rocker is the convenience key, which you can program to automatically open up the calendar, or automatically open up your mail app, or automatically open up, whatever it is that you want it to open up. Um, it is also sporting a 2.5 gigahertz quad-core processor, 16 megapixel camera on the back, and let's see here. And the biggest thing about it is that it is freaking rugged. I mean, this is, without having to purchase an additional like OtterBox or LifeProof case, you can just throw it against the wall, not really have to worry about it so much. With a 2-year contract, it will cost you $200, and then you can actually save an additional $50 on a Gear Fit if you buy it at the same time through AT&T stores. So this is going to be great for those individuals that need rugged phones. I actually used to work in the mobile industry, and a lot of people in construction are looking for like the Casio G-Zone phone, or I think it was just called Gazone phone. I forget what the actual pronunciation was, but Casio made like a G-Shock watch, and they took that mentality and technology and put it into the phone. And at the time, that was the only kind of like ruggedized Android phone. Now we have this, and I think we have a few others without having to buy a whole case. But if you're a Samsung fan, there you go. But you got to go to AT&T. That's the only caveat. You got to go to AT&T. So that's pretty cool. Also, in the world of mobile phones, the OnePlus One, if you remember, this is an offshoot from Oppo. And although they don't say that they're still a part of Oppo, I gotta think that they're still a part of Oppo, which is the Chinese brand manufacturer that built the Oppo Find 7A and the Find 5, all those beautiful high-end Android phones with a very I guess good price range. And then the OnePlus One came out, and it looks very similar in a lot of cases with the same like innards and same technology. It's like, you guys used to work for Oppo. I think you're pretty much Oppo. Anyways, the fact of the matter is, to get the OnePlus One, you have to be invited, and in order to be invited, you got to go through this whole stupid invitation process. And for the most part, none of us really want to deal with that. Now, what OnePlus One is doing is that they're actually selling 15 invites on eBay. Now, when I say they're selling 15 invites on eBay, I don't mean that you can go and bid on one invite. I mean, you are bidding on 15 invites on eBay. So if you take into account how much the phones are, let's just, memory serves, I want to say $250 for for the phone, whatever the memory capacity is, times 15, and then you take into account how eBay works, where you're bidding against a ton of other people, that could get into a few $1,000s for these 15 separate invites. But here's the cool thing about it. Here's where it's like, okay, this is not such a bad thing. These are what they call OnePlus One Calls, or OnePlus Calls, invites for cause. So, as Fandroid points out, that there is a catch, but the catch isn't bad. The money that you're using to essentially purchase these 15 invites will go to one of 4 charities that are currently being voted on by the OnePlus community. And the 4 charities are either water.org, UNICEF, WWF, not the cool one with Vince McMahon, but the one with the panda, or 1% for the planet. Now, if you're not familiar with any of these charities, I'm not going to tell you which one that you should go vote on. Definitely do your own research. But all 4 of them are very reputable, in my opinion. They're very good charities. Whatever money that's being donated to them, they're going to put it to good use. And the really cool thing is, you as the new owner of 15 OnePlus Invites know that the money that you are essentially giving to OnePlus isn't all going to them for the phones. It's actually helping these charities. So I mean, what would this world be like? Do you think if every phone that you bought, a portion of that went to the wild? I was gonna say worldwide. What is World Wildlife uh, Fund Foundation, or or the Red Cross, or uh, whatever charity is that you like to donate to. Um, every purchase that you made, part of it went to that, and that's kind of a cool feeling that you are spending money, but you know, and of all heart of hearts, that part of it is essentially, effectively, and hopefully going to go benefit somebody else over that way, or a little panda over that way. So that's cool. So OnePlus, I really give you two thumbs ups on changing your whole, well, not all of it, but changing part of it and offering this really cool once in a lifetime deal. And to a certain degree, it is a deal, to bid on these invites, but also do something really cool for the environment, the world, the community, for charity. So it's very, very cool. Good job, OnePlus. Um, and the last thing I want to talk about is this rumored smartwatch from Microsoft. So let me first start off by saying I work with a company where Microsoft is the client. So the rumor and speculation surrounding this is 100% a rumor, and maybe I shouldn't even be talking about it, but any kind of speculation or comments or opinion is solely mine and mine alone, had nothing to do with Microsoft or what the client company has to say about it. With that being said, Microsoft's upcoming smartwatch is rumored to actually play nice, not only with Windows Phone, but also Android and iOS devices. So we don't really know exactly too much of what it's going to do. Obviously, it's going to have some sort of like notification tray. It's going to be touchscreen. There's probably going to be some sort of like health-related fitness app. Because if you look at Windows 8, a lot of the Windows 8 apps, there's a new health and fitness app. There's a new food and drink app in Windows 8. And then you have Bing, the Bing search app, which is really cool. And I know a lot of you guys are kind of like giving Bing a hard time. I don't think you've tried Bing recently, because it's actually not bad. It's Google's cool, but Bing is not bad. It's not like you type in Linkin Park, for example, and then it gives you a bunch of Frank Sinatra stuff. It's not wrong. It's just different. I think you guys need to lay off the anti-Bing bandwagon for a little bit and give it a shot. And we've been seeing kind of also it's a possibility that this could work in conjunction with Microsoft Home, kind of home automation, possibly. You walk into your house, and because you're wearing it, it knows, oh, it's Tony. He's walking to the house. Let's change the lights like this. Let's change the heating like this, and all because of the smartwatch that you're wearing, and you can monitor and maintain all that through your phone. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So this is something that in terms of like future thinking, future looking, Microsoft has always had that in mind, whether they've been putting it out there on the front lines in the consumer realm or just keeping it as concept. Those we've seen a lot of concept. There was the House of the Future that you can go up to in Redmond, where basically everything is very futuristic, but nothing that we've ever seen in the consumer market. At least nothing as awesome, if you will. But this is one step to that. So Android Wear, we'll hear a lot more of that from Google and the Google I/O in the next few weeks. Next week is WWDC from Apple, so we might even see something from Apple in terms of an iWatch. So having Microsoft kind of come come up in third, if you will, with this whole concept of smartwatch. They kind of have to. I mean, it's one of those things that if they didn't, it would definitely be a bad move. I think the best part of it is that if this rumor is true, that the fact that it will work with iOS and Android, that's great. Because just like Satya Nadella said, we're a software company, you know? That's what he said, not me. He said software. That's what we do. That's why we put the Office on the iPad, because we're a software company. And he didn't specifically say cross-platform, but the fact is there's so many people out there with Windows and iOS devices, or sorry, Android and iOS devices, and as awesome as Windows Phone 8 and 8.1 might be, you know, you get a room of 300 people to raise their phone. How many have Windows Phone? Not that many. We surpassed, oh God, I kept saying we. They surpassed BlackBerry in North America in terms of the market share, which is cool, but you know, BlackBerry is stagnant. It's not really going anywhere, and so that's not really necessarily something to write home about. But the fact that Microsoft is looking to have this possibly work with other operating systems is definitely a good move. Now, conversely, would Android Wear work with iOS and Windows Phone? Maybe not Windows Phone. We've seen how Google and Microsoft, unfortunately, just don't really want to get along with certain things. But I do see Android Wear working on iOS, similar to how that Google Glass works on iOS. And Google has a ton of apps on iOS. They just put Google Music on iOS. So really, they don't necessarily have any beef. Well, they have a ton of beef, but they don't have any problem putting Google apps on iOS because they know that's, again, where a lot of market share is. So we will continue to check out this rumor and then see how things go with it. But in the meantime, excuse me, I do want to end up and talk about one last thing, and if I can find it here, I just thought I saw it. Yeah, Steve Ballmer might buy the Clippers. All right, that's it. All right, well, thank you very much, guys. That's all that I have tonight. If you have any questions, comments, you can send it to me directly on Twitter, LTGTony, or hit me up here on Google Plus Tony Hannity's. Also, you can definitely check out LazyTechGuys.com or our YouTube channel, LazyTechTV. And like I said, for the website, we're ramping it up right now, so it's a little slow in terms of getting the content out there. But we will definitely try to get some of the news, editorials, opinions, and definitely a lot more reviews. So stay tuned, stay classy. Thank you very much, and we will talk to you guys later. Peace.